children. Today I am going to take 10th standard sociology chapter. So today the chapter's name is social stratification. It's already mentioned on the board. First and foremost, I want you to say that people are stratified according to their various qualities, education, professional opportunities, health facilities and political representation and participation. So people are also, these are the social inequality which is existing in the people. That is professional opportunities, health, education facilities, political status and also the participation in the society. So what is it mean by social inequality? Social inequality is the result of already present in the social unequal social opportunities. Means it is already present and it is there in social opportunities, that is social inequality, the differences, the results. Okay, so this is continued by providing. How it is provided? By giving unequal opportunities, material resources, income, recognition and status. So these all come under the providing unequal access, material resources, income, opportunities and recognition or to others. So the neglect of food and social security of caste. There is also in the neglect of social food and social security among the caste system. Income and sex-based discrimination is also existing in social inequality. So you have to understand inequality is present in today's society. So this allows the assimilation of wealth in the hands of the few, very few hands. This accumulation is there. And what happens in this? The richer will be always rich and the poor will be always poorer. So the first is social inequality, and now we are going on to education and inequality. Even in education brings a very vital role, or it should be given equal opportunity for each and everyone. As like social justice, even in human life, same thing, education also plays a prior role. Government should provide equal opportunities to all children can be the social justice. The aspect of education can be seen in the directive policies. We can see the aspect of education in directive policies and also in the preamble of the Constitution of India. So we can see in two places, that is, one is in directive principle and second is the preamble of the Constitution of India. Now I am going to tell you about the different articles. First one, the Article 39. It is said that providing social justice and people welfare is the duty of the state government. Means giving social justice and promoting people and giving them give them good welfare is called as, it is the prior duty of doing this by the state government. Article 86, amendment to the Constitution. So this tells that Article 21 says that free and compulsory education should be given to the children between the age of 6 and 14 years. So this free and compulsory education of Article 21 says that it should be free and compulsory education between the age of 6 and 14 years, and it is also one of the fundamental right of the children. The next one you have got is Article 45. What does Article 45 says that? Under this, the children under the 14 years should be provided with free and compulsory education. Those children under the age of 14, above the 14 years and above should provide the free and compulsory education. The next one is the Article 19. What does Article 19 says? Article 19 says the people have got the right to speak and also the right to express its opinion. Means whatever goes wrong, they can speak out and they can express their opinion. So this is also one of the most important fundamental rights. So establishment of the minority education is being started by Article 30. The next one here what is Article 46. So this expresses that it is the duty of the government to support the education interest of whom? This is of the minority, that is scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. So this is the article. This article is Article 46, which gives the importance, more interest on the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Next we have got is Article 21. From education perspective, it is the important one because even the Supreme Court, in the decision in the Supreme Court, we understand that every person has right to live. So this is amended by the Supreme Court. So education is the basic right. So every person should get the education. The Supreme Court also puts effort to point that to provide certain school education for each and every child. So the education is the new hope in child's life. So education can bring laurels to the children. They can come forward in life. They can stand on. They know what is wrong, what is right. So here there is one more amendment by the Supreme Court. Here the Supreme Court of India, in the judgment in the case of, there was a case between Uni Krishnan and versus Andhra Pradesh. So in this case, it is clearly said that under Article 21A, it is clearly said that there should be free and compulsory education for all children between the age of 6 and 14 years. So this is said in the case between the case which was held in the court of the Supreme Court by Uni Krishnan versus Andhra Pradesh, that every child should get free and compulsory education between the age of 6 and 14, and even this is one of the fundamental rights. The court said that entire education from Anganwadi till the higher education, till the higher school, till the higher studies, so it should be seen from holistic perspective. What do you mean by holistic? Holistic means it is not any commercial. It should be service oriented, not commercial. It should be service oriented. Means it should be free for each and everyone to be educated. So it is the part of the right to live. So after this part, I will go to the next part, that is education inequality is over, the social inequality is over. Now I move on to gender inequality. Now I am going to the next topic, that is gender inequality. Gender inequality means one person's thought is influenced by the other person's thought. Means it is not the thinking of one person. It can be the thinking of it can be influenced. The thinking of an individual is influenced by the neighbors or by the family members. There is more gender inequality in access to where in different fields, that is school education, food and health facilities. So you can see the gender discrimination in 3 levels. One is the education level, second in the food, and third in the health facilities. So it is not of a particular person, it can be of the neighbors, surrounding neighbors, or it can be also of the family members. So here, motivational issues supporting education of a boy or a girl has more the social sphere of human life. Means even your education among the gender means whether the boy or a girl should be educated. So this is also a sphere in a human life. Means in some parts you can see only the boys are given more importance to education than the girl. According to the National Family Health Survey, it is said that in 2015 and 16, rural women of Karnataka has a body mass index. What do you mean by body mass index? So the survey tells in 2015, the rural women of Karnataka has body mass index is 24.3%, and whereas in the mass index, in which the body mass index is less in which area? It is in urban area. Okay. Next is that 50. It is said that children between the age of 6 and 56 months are severely anemic. That is from 6 months to 56 months. 6 months to 56 months. The children are said to be, they are very anemic. Anemic means what? Anemic means weak. They are very weak. Okay. So next is, it is also said that, so in the scenario, even not only in children, even you can see this anemic in the pregnant women. It is said that 45.2% pregnant women are also coming under the category of anemic. 45.2% and the women are coming under the category of anemic. So in the scenario, the development should include the food and relations, security, nutritious food, security, and also women and children welfare. So these are the main prior things should be taken care. So one should overcome the gender inequality or gender discrimination. So next I will move on to social stratification. First and foremost, what do you mean by social stratification? Here, the method of dividing people into different strata and assigning different roles. First, you have to divide the people into different strata and giving them different roles and status in the society. Means they are given different roles. First divide, then give them different role, different status is called as social stratification. So it's very important definition. Social stratification means dividing people in different way according to their roles, according to their rules, according to their roles, and according to their status. Okay, so they are given the opportunity assigned, or they are given the opportunity to do the roles or the status in the society, and first they divide the people. Okay, then they assign the role is called as social stratification. Human society has classified in the people into, you know that in today's society how the people are. So most of the people, there is a difference between superiority, inferiority, high class and low class. So this is what is happening in today's society. So people are suffering because of the inferiority, that is the rich and the poor. So high class, low class. So this is the differences which is taking place. So next I am going to go is the features of social stratification. So what is social stratification? You all know it is dividing people according to their status and roles. So now social stratification is social in nature. Features. The first one, social stratification is social in nature. Means it is purely based on social recognition and importance, but not on any physical traits. Means it is only because of social recognition and not on any physical trait. Physical trait means what? Example, a person's status is not fixed on the physical trait. Means a person cannot be judged on his height, on his beauty and on his strength. You cannot judge if a person is very beautiful, if the person is very high, or if the person has got a strength. You cannot judge that person. But it is based on education, income, profession, skill and other traits. So these are the important one for the social stratification in social in nature. That is income, profession, education, skill and other traits. Second one, social stratification is universal. What is universal? Universal means whenever there is human society exists, where the human society exists is called as universal. Social stratification exists on the basis of division of labor, profession, income and other social strata. So universal means it is the social stratification is divided into labor, profession, income and other social traits. The third one, social stratification is ancient. Ancient means what? It is from the beginning. It is not now. So it is universal. So social stratification is universal means what? It is universal means from the human society. From the beginning it is existing. So it is social stratification is universal. So social stratification exists based on the division of labor. Social stratification, the third one I am going to do. Social stratification is ancient. So, social stratification is ancient. Social stratification is ancient. Ancient is from the beginning, ancient times. So, social stratification is the existence that is from the birth of the human society. So, it is found in the nomadic society as well as now even you can find it in the modern civilized society. Not only nomadic but also in the modern civilized society. The fourth point, social stratification exists in different ways. Different ways mean it exists in different means in different areas. For example, in ancient there was a difference. There is a Roman difference between the plebeians and the patricians. So these are the differences. Now in today's society, you have got like different castes in Hinduism, like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudras and Vaishyas. So the next part I am going to go is major forms in social stratification. There is a situation in nature from ancient world till the digital world. From the ancient till the digital, there is a lot of differences. So what are those differences? One is the primitive society, second is the slavery, third is the essay system, fourth is the Varna system and fifth is the caste system. I'll repeat this once again. Primitive society, slavery, estate system, Varna system and caste system. So this is the end of the today's part and the remaining chapter lesson I am going to continue in tomorrow's class. Thank you children.